Good afternoon to you all, lovely real entrepreneurs. How are you doing? Happy Friday to you and greetings from an absolutely beautiful Dubai. It's September and the weather is much more manageable than it has been over the summer. So greetings to you all. Where in the world are you? Do let me know. Thank you for joining. Happy Friday. How is your family? How's your business? How's your team? Do give me a wave. Hello, hello. Greetings to you. Happy Friday. Let me know where in the world you are watching from. I am coming to you live from a very beautiful sunny Dubai. I hope that you are doing well. Hello to you and happy Friday. Thank you for joining. How are things where you are? How is your September going so far? We are past the halfway point. Let me know, is autumn coming where you are? It's glorious here, much more manageable temperatures than we had in July and August. I wouldn't exactly describe it as autumnal, and we're missing the seasons a little bit, but do let me know how things are with you. But yeah, we're managing to start to venture out a little bit and do things now. It's not so hot. Greetings to you, happy Friday. I hope that you are well. Give me a wave, give me a thumbs up so that I know you're there. Thank you so much for joining. What have you been working on this week? Has it been a good one? I hope it has been. I've had a really good week actually. This week I started working with TDAP. They are an accelerator program for startups and scale-ups in the automotive industry. I think I told you about that when I won that contract many months ago. So I ran a workshop for 14 entrepreneurs this week, which went really well. And I'm also negotiating an extension on my contract with the large client that I told you about a while back. So yeah, all very positive at this end. Thank you to all of you who are referring friends and colleagues to me, whether it's for one-to-one coaching or work with their teams or to be interviewed for my book. I really appreciate all of the referrals and introductions that you are giving me. Talking about my book, I have finished the interviews, which is really exciting. I've got a final few to sort of integrate into the manuscript, and I'm hoping to get that off to my publisher at the end of the month. Lots of new joiners to this community. Welcome to each and every one of you. I'm really passionate about serving you and giving you lots of great value, not just in these weekly lives from wherever I am in the world, but also in our Ask Me Anything slots, 3 p.m. UK time every Monday. And we've had some interesting questions. Claire's been asking some questions. Hi Claire, asking some questions about marketing and sales funnels. So do keep your questions coming. Please feel free to post any questions or challenges into this group. Let us know where you're stuck or what questions you have. I really hope that you and your business are thriving, but if you're not, then that's okay. Please do let me know what support you need. I want you to know that you are not alone. I can see that several of you have booked in a clarity call next week, so I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Okay, enough chit chat. I think let's get going, shall we? Welcome to my weekly live at 12 noon UK time every Friday, where we talk about how to simplify, grow and enjoy your business. Whether you're just starting out or you're several years in, whether you want to build a nice lifestyle business or you're chasing world domination, I am here to support your journey. Last week we were looking at finding balance. We talked about how to manage the different trade-offs that we all have in our lives, and also we were talking about how balance is different for each and every person, and also how it's not static. Balance definitely evolves as we do, and so it's something that we always need to be kind of keeping in mind. So if you didn't get a chance to join me live last week, you can find a recording in this group. All of my lives are organized into guides. We have a simplify, we have a grow, and we have an enjoy your business guide. Everything I do falls into one or more of those three guides: simplify, grow, or enjoy, so that you can easily find the support that you need. I want all three of those for you, of course, but you will know which one is needed most for you right now in terms of where you and your business are. So do check out the guides in this group. Let me know, where are you stuck? What questions do you have? What challenges are you facing? Today's live was inspired by several coaching sessions that I've had recently with a couple of new clients. Today we are talking about making decisions. Every day is made up of almost countless decisions, right? What to eat, what to wear, what to build, where to focus our energy, who to hire, what to charge, when to stop. How do you know if you're making the right decisions for you? How do you know if you're making the right decisions for your life, for your business, for the people that you care about? How do you make good decisions, and how do you keep focused and keep that overwhelm at bay? As always, today's live is practical and simple. It's designed to give you some things to think about, but also some concrete actions that you can take today. I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on the link between decision making and goals. We're also going to look at a way of avoiding overwhelm, and I'm also going to share with you my top 10 decision making tips. Hopefully that meets your expectations. Let's get started then, shall we? I have been thinking a lot about decision making this week. As I say, it's been coming up in quite a number of coaching sessions recently, but also in my personal life it's been coming up. As you know, we've been in Dubai for 9 months now, and we've got some decisions to make about what we do next. Do we stay or do we go? And what I would say is that decision making is tiring, especially when it's a kind of big life decision such as we're facing. They can be really exhausting. And what I see during my coaching work, and what I'm being reminded of at the moment in my own life, is that actually making things happen is the easy bit. The challenge is getting really clear about what you want, and then really getting your will behind it, getting that energy and that focus behind the decision, because we actually spend a lot of the time on the fence, you could call, kind of between decisions, not really sure. We kind of think we've made a decision, but we haven't really got our will behind it. We haven't really put any energy behind it. And if you think about decision making, it should really be connected to our goals, right? What do you want in life? What do you want in your business? But that's not an easy question to answer. I used to hate the "where do you want to be in 5 years' time" interview question, because I never really had a clear answer. Some people that I work with have a very clear idea of their long-term goals. They're very, very clear about what it is that they want to achieve. But some people struggle with the short term, how do I make that happen part of the equation. But they're very clear about where they're going. They're very kind of clear about the end goal, but they maybe struggle with the near term steps. And other people are more focused on the process. So what do I want my days to look like? What do I want to be spending my time on? And my view is that whether you have a clear long-term goal or not is actually not that important. And I know that not everybody would agree. That's my view, that's my experience. If you do have that clear long-term goal, then that's fantastic. But if you don't, then I would say don't give yourself a hard time. Because the really important question is not so much what's that long-term goal, but is what you're doing leading to where you want? Or put another way, is your life how you want it to be? And if not, why not? What are the changes that need to be made? Because that's what it's all about. You can have a philosophical debate about what the meaning of life, what's the purpose of life, why are we here? And ultimately it boils down to being happy, right? Leading a fulfilling life, leading a life of purpose. And so what is that for you? What is it about your current life that isn't meeting that goal? Whether you have a really clearly articulated long-term goal or not, I think those questions of, is my life serving me? Am I happy in my life? Is this what I want to be doing? And if not, why not? Is sometimes a more helpful place to start if you struggle with setting that long-term goal, which I have to say I always have done. I work with some clients who are very clear about that. I never have been. I've always been more focused on, is my life how I want it to be? Is my business how I want it to be? Is it working for me? It's so easy to convince ourselves that we can't have what we want, right? We come up with all of the reasons why something won't happen, why something isn't possible, why it's just not possible to have what we want. But are you absolutely sure that that is true, that you can't have what you want? If you try focusing on what exactly it is that you want and then break it down, what are those steps? What are those steps to take you where you want? Because what happens is we put out some huge, I want to be here, or I want to be doing this, and then we go, oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I could never get there. But actually, if you break it down, like what would the first few steps be? So if that goal, that big, scary, audacious, ambitious goal, if that's, let's say you're 10 out of 10, and you're, I don't know, let's say maybe you're 3 or 4 out of 10 now, what would a 5 look like? What would a 6 look like? It's about making progress. It's about moving forward. Try focusing on exactly what you want and breaking it down. And if you're not sure, then do reach out for some help. That is what I am here for. Something I find that really helps me stay calm and avoid overwhelm is something that I call controlling the controllables. Here's some things that we can't control. We have no control whatsoever over whether other people follow the rules. We have no control actually over the actions of other people. We cannot predict what will happen. We can't really control other people's motives. We can't control how people react. We can't control how long this crazy pandemic situation that we're all living through, how long that will last. We can't control when you'll be able to go on holiday without worrying if your destination is going to get added to the red list. There are many, many things that we can't control. But here's some things that we can control. I can control my attitude. I can control whether I stay positive or not. I can control how much news and information I consume. I can control whether I find some fun things to do in my life. I can control how much social media I interact with. I can control whether I follow the rules, whether I follow public health recommendations. I can focus and I can control being kind. I can control having grace. I can control having gratitude. I can control focusing on what I want and how to make it happen. So what I would say to you, and anybody that's been coached by me will know that I will say this, is let go of those things that you can't control. You can't control them. Stop giving them energy. Stop agonizing about them. Stop trying to control things you can't control. It's a complete waste of your energy, of your time, of your focus. Just let go of all of those things that you can't control. All of those things that other people do and say and their motivations and whether they follow the rules and all of that kind of stuff. Just let go of all of that. You don't need any of that. And focus instead on what you can control. Your own behaviour, your own attitude, your own actions, your own life, your own steps towards the goal and what you want, your own picture of what your life would look like, what you want your life to look like. If you do this, if you focus on controlling the controllables, you will keep yourself calmer and you will feel much less anxious and much less overwhelmed. Let's talk for a moment about the number of decisions that we all have to make every day. The sheer volume of decisions is really overwhelming and exhausting, and it can reduce our ability to be flexible. We find sometimes when we've got too many decisions that we actually get quite stuck. And the research into this is quite interesting because what it's found is that the quality of our decisions actually erodes through the day. So if you think about it, we've all got a set amount of willpower that can get used up through the day. And what that means is that our decision-making power, if you want to put it that way, that ability to make decisions, is actually a depletable resource. It's actually something that you wake up in the morning with and you have a certain amount of it and it erodes through the day. So just as many of us will succumb to chocolates or crisps, my personal favourite is a tub of ice cream, I have to confess. Many of us have got that thing that we will go to after a long day of exhausting meetings, exhausting times, exhausting activities, but most importantly, a full day of exhausting decisions, all of those mentally exhausting, healthy decisions, yeah? So we maybe have made lots of great decisions throughout the day. Maybe we've made lots of really healthy decisions, and then we kind of run out of that decision-making ability and we grab whatever it is, you know, whether it's the pizza or the wine, or in my case, the ice cream. What also happens is that we might snap at our loved ones after we've had a very long and tiring meeting. So our energy's all gone, and then you'll find, you know, the kids are really annoying you, or your loved ones, you know, your partner says something and you'll kind of snap at them and you'll think, oh, that's not like me. Why am I doing that? In that same way, we're actually much more likely to make bad or hasty management decisions after a day full of hundreds of trivial decisions, hundreds of trivial judgments. So this is what the research says. And what that means is the more decisions that we have to make, the more mentally tired we'll become, until our brain will start looking for shortcuts. Our brain is there to keep us safe. That's its primary function. And our brain will recognize that we're getting exhausted from all of these decisions, and it will start looking for shortcuts. And so what happens then is we start acting impulsively, or we become, as I said, stuck, paralyzed with indecision. And the impact on our businesses when that happens can be really profound. The flexibility and resilience of your team, your organization, your business will absolutely be affected if you are mentally fatigued. So entrepreneurs are famous for going with their gut, and it usually serves us well, right? Usually that kind of gut feel serves you right? But when we become overwhelmed and we become stuck, then what happens is we start second guessing ourselves. And what that leads to is decisions that are much harder to make, even simple and straightforward decisions. Self-belief can make you more resilient, but sometimes we don't really know how we're going to react until we're in that situation, right? So it's difficult sometimes to plan for situations and know how we're going to react. Making a decision and moving forward, even if it means that mistakes might happen, is usually nearly always better than feeling paralyzed with indecision. And this is what I always advise my clients, like, make a decision. We get so hung up on the right and the wrong. Most of the time, that concept, it's a sort of an artificial construct that we make for ourselves. There isn't really a right decision or a wrong decision. There's just a choice, right? In chapter 4 of my book, The Real Entrepreneur: How to Simplify, Grow and Enjoy Your Business, I talk about decision fatigue and how to combat it. And it's really important that you do everything you can to protect your brain and save up that vital, depleting, diminishing decision-making capacity for the important decisions that you need to make about your life and your business. Okay, time for my top 10 decision-making tips. Are you ready for these? Number 1, simplify your life as much as possible to make it easier to make good decisions. Routines are a really great way to do this. Your brain likes routines. It makes us feel safe. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same thing every day. The same thing. Because it's just easy. It's just one less decision. Yeah, what is it? Dark grey trousers, grey t-shirt, right? President Obama did the same. I don't know if he still does. That's one way that people that are really trying to optimize their productivity use. Having a meal plan will do exactly the same thing. Like, take away those decisions and simplify your life as much as possible. And as many of those routine decisions that you can just stop being a decision will save up that decision-making resource for the most important decisions. Number 2, plan your daily decisions the night before. This is this works a treat actually. So I was coaching, well, I still am coaching somebody who was really struggling with this, and he was saying to me, you know, making decisions first thing in the morning. You know, I have all this good intention, and then the alarm goes off, and I hit the snooze button. Making decisions first thing in the morning really doesn't work often, particularly if you're not a morning person. Clients of mine definitely complain about lack of motivation. So pack your gym things the night before. Yeah, just take away the decision. It's not even a decision anymore. I'm going to the gym. I've packed my gym things. It's you don't even ask yourself. Don't give yourself an option. I mean, obviously, if you wake up and you feel terrible, then that's fine. But just plan your day. Plan particularly the beginning of your day the night before. So at the end of my day, I always write myself a very simple plan of the day, of the next day, and then the next morning I know what I'm doing. Yeah, so I find that works really well. If you haven't tried it, please do, and let me know how you get on. Linked to this, number 3, remove the decision completely by adding it to your calendar. So that's another great way of avoiding decision fatigue and making better decisions is up front, putting things in your calendar, just planning. Stop giving yourself the option all the time. I know that's one of the wonderful things about running our own businesses, right? Our time is our own. We can do whatever we want when we want. But that means you have a load of decisions and it is completely exhausting. So plan out your day, add it to your calendar, and then don't give yourself the option. Okay, number 4, I swear to you that this one is magic. Absolutely magic. Tried and tested. Separate the deciding from the doing. The energy that you need to decide something is different than the energy you need to do it. And this works amazingly, right? So think of something where you have been putting it off. Think about a decision that is kind of sitting there on your to-do list and you've been putting it off, right? And now ask yourself, what would the steps be that I would take to start doing that? I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to decide what the steps are. And then write in your calendar, this is when I'm going to do it and these are the steps. And then when you get there, there's no decision to be made now. Now we're just doing the steps, right? Honestly, if you haven't tried it before, seriously, it is absolutely magic. It is amazing. Yeah, so for example, my Facebook Live, my weekly Facebook Live, I decide what the topic is and what the overall kind of structure is going to be at one moment, and then the actual writing of it, the actual what am I actually going to say at a different point in time. And they are 2 completely different energies. They're 2 completely different, what am I going to say, what is it, create the event, do this, you know, contact my lady and say she needs to do the invites, all of that, one activity. That's what I call managing. And then there's the making, there's the creative bit, the what am I actually going to say, the actual words, the flow. That's the creative piece, and they're completely different activities. And when I was trying to do it all at once, I used to get really blocked and really stuck. And now I don't. Because when I come to the creative piece, I already know I've already got a structure, and then I can just be creative. So honestly, if you haven't tried it before, if you take one thing away from this live, this is the one. I swear it's magic. Seriously, I swear it's magic. Okay, number 5. Do the most important things first. This really helps with decision making. Eat that frog. Tackle the thing that you're dreading first. Don't put it off. It will never, ever be as hard or as bad as you fear. And you'll feel so much better once it's done. So often I find, and I don't know if you find the same, but often I find that I'm not really quite sure what is blocking me, and sometimes you'll do something and then you'll get a rush of energy and you'll be like, that was the one that was blocking me. So just get it done, yeah? Try and let go of that need for everything to be perfect. Number 6, eat well before important decisions, but not too much. Now, there's nothing worse than feeling hungry when trying to make a big decision. So if you're trying to make a big decision, you're struggling with it, do ask yourself, am I hungry, am I thirsty? But don't eat too much, or you might feel kind of sluggish and lacking in energy while your body processes all that lovely food you've given it. Number 7, weigh up the pros and cons. This is a very effective tool. It's very, very simple, but just asking yourself, sitting down with a piece of paper, one side pros, one side cons, what are the pros and cons of a potential decision from your perspective, but also from the point of view of the other people that might be affected or it might be impacting. Number 8, keep a journal so that you can review your decisions. This is a really, really powerful tool. It's a great way of looking at your decision-making process more objectively. So what decisions went well and which ones not so well? If you can start keeping a track of that, what was the outcome versus what you feared it might be? So if you're finding that you're experiencing quite a lot of self-doubt and you're sort of questioning yourself and am I making the right decisions, try keeping a journal of how you feel through that process that you can then look back at and go, that's interesting, it actually didn't turn out as bad as I feared, or actually with hindsight maybe that could have been a different decision. Yeah, it's a really interesting way of just understanding your process. This is all about self-awareness. Number 9, get some objective input. If you are struggling to make a decision, it is really hard sometimes to get really clear by yourself. So how about a coaching session? How about a clarity call? Number 10, trust your gut and just do it. It is always better to keep moving, always. It's always better to keep moving. Yes, from time to time you might make a mistake, that is true. But that the price you pay for that is so worth it compared to that inertia and that feeling stuck. Okay, so as a reminder, my top 10 decision-making tips. Number 1, simplify your life as much as possible to make it as easy as possible to make good decisions. Number 2, plan daily decisions the night before. Number 3, remove the decision completely by adding it to your calendar. Separate the deciding from the doing. It's magic. Number 5, do the most important things first. Get them out of the way. Eat that frog. Number 6, eat well before making important decisions, but not too much. Number 7, weigh up the pros and cons from your perspective, but also from other people's perspective. Keep a journal so that you can review your decisions. That's number 8. Number 9, get some objective input. That is what I am here for. Number 10, trust your gut and just do it. So what do you think? What is resonating most with you? What questions do you have about making decisions? Do let me know in the comments. What's your next step in life? What's your next step in your business? What do you need to make you feel more confident? Do book in a clarity call with me and let's get you moving past whatever is blocking your progress and on to that next challenge. Before I close up for today, I want to give you some concrete next steps, some things that I suggest you do right now as a result of today's live. So, firstly, what are the decisions that you struggle to take? Is there a particular type of decision or area of your life where you are struggling to get clarity and make some good decisions? Is overwhelm the problem? Or is it knowing what you want? Try and pinpoint what is the block. Are you getting hung up on how to do something before you decide what it is that you want? Because that will never work. Next, review my list of top 10 decision-making tips. Which ones could you implement to make decision-making easier for you? Do you need some help to get really, really clear? And thirdly, you know what's coming, right? Take some action. Get your will behind your decision. Get that energy, yeah? Don't pretend you've made a decision when you haven't. It's okay if you need to spend a bit more time on the fence, but don't lie to yourself about where you are. Don't say to yourself, I've made the decision, why am I not getting on with it? If you're not getting on with it, you haven't really made the decision. Get your will, get your power behind the decisions. You won't always get it right. You won't always get it right, of course you won't. But the benefits of moving forward far outweigh the occasional mistake. Please let me know how you get on with this, and do get in touch if you need any support or you want to talk it through with me. I am going to close up today's live with 2 quotes about making decisions. The first one is from the American writer Mark Twain. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. And the second from the late great Stephen Covey. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. So what decisions are you making today? Are you ready to face what needs to happen in your business? Let's get you in the driving seat and building intentionally towards what you want. Decide what is really important to you and to your business and stick to it consistently. Building a business is tough. It can be a really long, hard road. Make sure that you are building something that is really meaningful to you, that will sustain you through the tough times, something that inspires you and lights you up. Be intentional. Say no to all of those things and even people that don't serve you and the goal that you want to achieve. And as I pass it back over to you, as I do every week, that is really what I want you to take from today. What is the outcome that you're seeking? What is the result? What is the goal? Put your energy into getting really clear about that, but allow yourself to do things your way. Yes, by all means, learn from me, learn from others, but when you synthesize all of that learning, when you bring it inside of you, what comes out must be congruent with you. It must work for you. If you want to build a huge multinational changing the world organization, then fantastic, go for it. But if you just want to do your thing, that's absolutely fine too. Focus on listening to yourself and ask yourself, what do you need so that you can spend more time in your flow? And don't forget that the opposite of flow is friction. And so if things are tough, if things aren't really working, if you feel like you're a bit stuck, then take a step back, stop banging your head against the brick wall, take a step back and focus on getting some clarity. Get some objective input, hire the services of a business coach, take some time to look at what you're doing. And very importantly, where an easier path might start from and lead to. Ask yourself, what would a business that really works for me look like? Let me know your thoughts and questions on this or any other topic relating to how to simplify, grow and enjoy your business. What area of business would you like me to speak about next? Also, who do you know who could benefit from joining this community or having a conversation with me? If you haven't already claimed your free copy of my first book, The Real Entrepreneur, then you can check out therealentrepreneur.book.com. If you prefer an Audible or Kindle version, you can find those on Amazon. Do check out the resilience section on my book for more on making decisions. Get the foundations right and you can build from there. I do hope that you have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing and whoever you're doing it with. I wish you a very happy and peaceful time. As always, if you want to talk, then you know where I am. Please remember to be where you are in the journey. You don't need to know it all and you definitely don't have to do it all. Take care, stay safe and keep in touch. Bye for now. Happy Friday.